Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hindsight, where we see bad situations that can be avoided by good reasoning. But sometimes a situation is unavoidable and self defense is needed to get you to safety.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is another edition of Hindsight. I'm Beat Physicist here with Mr. Suave and Sensei Buddha. You know,
Oops.
your Monday morning quarterbacks
Suave.
are here, ready to get down and talk about these situations after the fact. This is probably the martial arts podcast that is the least boring of all of them out there. So,
At least what?
least boring.
At least what?
Least boring. Yeah.
No, man, a lot of them are boring because when you have new listeners, they may not know the history or the background of certain people who they talk about, and it just becomes a slap or pat on the back session, amongst people that it's just very inbred. Very, very inbred.
It sound like people just keep bigging themselves up, or I know so and so, I know so and so,
Yes.
I know so and so. We're not even like that. We're just trying to get to these stories and get some real time scenarios that you can actually use and practically use and keep it moving
Yes.
with a little knowledge of what we've done and who we know. Okay. Not too much name dropping.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Mr. Suave, you're absolutely right. Yo, be physicist.
Yes.
We were just talking about it earlier. You get invited out to these sessions where other martial art masters are, and I've done that before, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then it gets very weird. I remember we did a fundraiser for one particular gentleman, and the fundraiser was cool, but I was working with a fellow off to the side who had inquired because he knew who I was. So as I was working with him, another very famous guy came over and he tried to bump himself into me, and I had to gently redirect and flow off of him. And then he was looking at me with the blinking eyes like, oh, man, I didn't expect you to do that. And I'm looking at him like, man, we're over here to do a fundraiser and help somebody out and show solidarity. You want to take this as an opportunity to come over here and do shenanigans. This is why it's very, you got to really know who you're dealing with. This is why we wrote that book, Martial Talk with Sensei Buddha, Myths, Malevolence, and Mayhem. Thank goodness. Yes.
Say that one more time. I blacked out. Say it again.
Martial Talk with Sensei Buddha, Myths, Malevolence, and Mayhem in the Martial Arts. And yes, I did that with Sensei Tyrone Turner. And we just lamented our tales of just unbelievable.
Okay, let me slow you down a bit. Where can I guess if listeners want to take a look at this book, purchase it, where can they find it?
Well, it's made for Kindle, and I think it's like maybe $3.99.
Okay, is it on? Can they get it from Amazon.com?
That's the thing. I went to Amazon and we couldn't find it again.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we have to look back into it. But this is something that we had released well over 5 years ago. But the thing is, we have another book that we're going to be coming out with, and of course, it's going to have the physicist and Mr. Suave, myself. We're going, it's going to be some good stuff. But we were dealing with the personalities, these very strange personalities. Instead of looking for students, they're looking for slaves. These people want to enthrall you for years and years. They want to set you up on the program where they just give you little bits and pieces of the pie. And I'm like, okay, I understand. I hear where you're coming from. And it's good. But it just is very sad because you don't know if they're really training you right, or are you going to be there for their Sultan's exam where it's like, well, I think you come loyally, for 18 months. So then I'll really teach you the real stuff. And it's like, man, these people are coming to you because they feel that they do not understand in certain situations, either facing an edged weapon facing somebody who's going to try to knock them out, a bully. There could be a bully on the job that they feel that they might have to deal with, even though that they, you're not supposed to fight on the job. But you get people that they just say, I don't care. And they go for it. So you get these nice people, they want to train, and you got these people that dilly-dally with them, take their money, and do weird stuff. As a matter of fact, what was very, very, very strange is I worked for a little while at a very, very famous New York nightclub spot, and I was referred to this person by another very, very famous martial artist. And this guy refused to pay me for 2 days straight. And then finally, when I tried to confront him and be very gentle about it and inconspicuous, just to say, hey, what can we do? The guy wants to fight me. He pokes his finger onto the top of my head. I couldn't believe it because the guy stood much taller than me. And then, I smacked his hand away from me. He threw his first punch. He hit me in the face. My head turned, and I turned right back, looked at him. It was like he hit the Terminator. And I said, brother, that's all you got? And you train with whom you train with? I said, come on. And what he did?
Disrespect. Oh, the disrespect.
And it even became with more hilarity. The guy turned and runs right into the club.
Wow.
And the thing that was sad was that, I very politely talked to his grandmaster. And then the guy said, even his grandmaster had mental illness. But it's a real shame because this guy, he's known for beating up his wives and all this kind of stuff. But the thing is that he then tried to say, well, I saw him, David, it didn't look like you did much to him. I said, I can't do nothing to a person who runs away. Who taught him that?
Floyd Mayweather?
Hey, Floyd Mayweather.
Shout out to the money team.
Even the man Mike Tyson, the Iron Mike, he said Floyd Mayweather is the best of his time right now. I wholeheartedly concur. Who's this gentleman? Javante, the gentleman that's in the Mayweather camp. What's his last name? Javante. This guy.
I heard about him. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure, man. And I'm wishing for him a very, very popular and prosperous career in the game.
Javante Davis?
Is it Javante Davis? Yeah, I think it is. I'm so terrible with these names because you get hit with the martial art name, and then the new boxing people that are coming up. Sadly I fuddy-duddied on it, but Javante. I think that's his name, and he's in the money camp, and this dude, he's just. Oh, good Lord. Just to see him get in there, he's got the footwork, and when he hits you, you can feel it all the way across the world, brother. This guy is a strong, good fighter. But this gentleman, I will tell you who his name is when we get off air, of course. But the guy, I'm like, dude, your man owes me money. He's embarrassed you, misrepresented you. You're telling me that, no, this guy got your back, and he's taking care of, me on other occasions. So now when I'm trying to get with him, and your man is trying to fight me, and then he takes a swing at me and then runs. Brother, he ran more than the cowardly lion from the Wizard of Oz. It was embarrassing. And then what was so funny was that we were outside, and he had a gentleman who worked with him, and the guy pulled me to the side and said, hey, man, if that happened to me, I might want to come back. And then I looked at him. I said, dude, you're his right-hand man. You're his lieutenant. I said, I do not want to come back, but all these nice guys that stopped me from running after him after he ran into the club like the wretched coward that he is, the same guys that are helping you guys to not have me beat him up, they're going to be here tomorrow when he doesn't pay them any money. I said, you are going to have to deal with a whole other game, brother. I said, and the thing is that they had a celebrity bout. This guy was in the wrestling world, very famous man. I'm going to tell you about him when we get off air. He settled my 2-day financial affairs, and he was like, you got to go and walk away. And I told him, I said, hey, man, I've always been a fan of you. You're beautiful people. Thank you. And big courtesy to that gentleman. Obviously I can't name names, I can't name the spot, but you know that I'll talk with you when we get podcast. But the gentleman was trying to, he actually thought I was going to come back. I said, brother, I don't need to come back. I said, if he doesn't do this to me, and I've heard gentlemen for the past days, I'm the new guy on the job, and they're telling me this is what this man's MO is, to not pay people. I said, what happens when he doesn't want to pay you? And then, why? I said, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, now you're going to have to deal with it. But I said, I got my money. I got my money, and the guy, he obviously couldn't fight, and he ran. I said, that's your man. You're supposed to be his lieutenant. Is he supposed to run like the cowardly lion into the club? Brother, I would tell you, it was just really bad. It was really bad, and it was really sad. But, you know, we move on from that. And just to let people know, that's another reason, unless you rolling with a good team of professional people, I highly do not recommend doing club or bouncing work unless the club is extremely exclusive. I've worked some literally very exclusive spots. Certain people, because of the clientele that came there, certain people just knew not to come. And some of these spots didn't even charge a dime to get in. It was just a certain club. It was a certain atmosphere. It was a lounge spot. Certain people, they brought in the money because of the promotion. And that's how you recognize some of these top-notch venues, because these people, they'll have good money. They'll bring in great people. They'll have celebrities in there, but a certain type of clientele comes there. But that was just a little something that was on my mind. When we deal with the foolery that's out here. The Exorcist, if you would please, Antrada with tonight's story.
All right. So now that Sensei Buddha's got that off his chest, we can get back to business. Yes. So this article comes to us courtesy of the New York Post via the Associated Press. So this is an incident that happened in Salt Lake City, Utah. Oh, wow. Jason Stone, age 47, is accused of suspicion of kidnapping, assault, and witness tampering of his girlfriend, a 45-year-old woman whom Stone tied up like a mummy. Yeah, he wrapped her up with duct tape. That's right, folks. Stone is also charged with stealing a vehicle. He is held on a $100,000 bond, which he paid in cash. It was a cash-only bond, so he hit it like, ha! Like, yeah, I got that. So, Stone and the 45-year-old woman were on a camping trip near Dinosaur National Monument, which is close to the Utah-Colorado border. The woman, fearing for her life, texted family members for help. The family then notified police to be on the lookout. The 45-year-old woman then escaped from Stone's home in Park City by climbing out of the second-story window and contacting local police. When police arrived, she was found with bruises and possible fractures to the face, and she survived. She survived. Prepare yourself. She survived 3 days of this. 3 days of being tied up and beat at the Park City residence where Stone was then arrested. But it turns out the problems for these couples for this couple in particular, are not new. They had an incident in April which Stone was charged with assault involving the police that is yet to be resolved. Stone's attorney for the April incident, Mr. John K. Johnson, has not taken this new case. I guess he says, I'm going to fall back from this. This is a little too extra. The witness tampering stems from the April case where Stone allegedly forced the victim to sign an affidavit to respond to those, to rescind those charges. In May, Judge Kara Pettit denied Stone's stalking injunction against the victim. So yeah, this one was tied up like a mummy and beat for 3 days. Escaped, and you know, now this guy, well, he was in custody, but he's now out on bail. So, who wants a piece of this first?
Oh, well, the resident hindsight hype man, and throwing out the disclaimer suit.
All right.
We'll go as follows.
Okay.
Woo, woo, woo. Mr. Stone, Mr. Stone, Mr. Stone. Man, before I even get into it, as we always like to do, word of the day, phrase of the day, phrase I love to say, you rat bastard. Hey, on the hindsight, our views are our views and our views alone. Everything we say and make comments on and opinionate are for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. So don't go out there getting your ass whipped, saying that the hindsight told you to go try to save a life or save your life. Only do this if you need to. First and foremost, get away from trouble. Try to call the police if you can. Get it into the hand of professionals. Try to keep your life safe. Okay. And for all the trolls, you could hate us, comment, get the hell off our page, keep listening, because we like you. Let's get into it. So, man, I'm looking at this dude, man, Mr. Stone. This dude he don't look right, man. He look messed up. It looks like something ain't right with him, man. Something ain't right with this dude. Look like he's up to no good. And it's like from some of our earlier shows, I say, man, there's too much age between the two of these individuals to be having all this nonsense going on. Way too much age, too much experience in the world, too much experience in life for them to be running through all this nonsense. I mean, he went, I guess in his mind, like they say the reports, they had prior domestic, alleged prior domestic charges. So, this ain't their first rodeo that they've been through together. And I guess, said, hell, I'm gonna try to make it work or whatever. She said, well, fuck it, I'm gonna make it work too. So now they go on this camping trip. I'm assuming he set it up. He found a cabin wherever they stayed, whatever. He made all the plans. And in his mind, he already had a premeditated plan to go all out. I mean, he beat her for 3 days, mummified her for 3 days, wrapped in socks. You know what? Probably raped. Who knows all this kind of recklessness this dude did for these 3 days? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man. My thing is, she knows what type of individual he is. She knows this. It's been documented. She's trying to put paper on him. They have allegations on him. There's actual open case against him. Why are you still going out away, spending time with this dude? You already know what type of anger issues this man has. You already know what type of violent acts this guy's willing to commit and have committed already. This ain't his first time doing this. He was comfortable doing this. He probably had some sodomy shit in his head, and he's like, man, I'm gonna try some more. Allegedly, yes, thank you. He had some old sodomy shit in his head, and he said, man, I'm gonna go all out. He said, what's that movie called? 50 Shades of Grey. He said, fuck all that. I'm gonna go harder. I'm gonna go 50 Shades of Stone. I'm gonna go 50 Shades of Stone on here. I'm gonna do it that way. Yeah. So, and I'm like, I'm just so upset that she actually went there. Now I'm gonna try to get into some things. Okay, she's there for 3 days. Unless she had a cuff tied, it's allegedly she's saying these things, but she had time to call her family. Yo, lady, if you got time to call your family, get time to get some sneakers on and run out the goddamn house. Find some help. You got time to call family, pick up that damn phone, call 911. Hey, track this call. I'm gonna throw it under the bed. Bam. Hey, they can do that. Leave it alone. So I'm kind of questionable, man. The story, yes, he did this. He is a deranged individual. He saw his movie. He had some momentum. He was trying to make his 15 minutes of fame, so the 50 Shades of Stone could come out. That's my feeling on it. I think some drugs might have been involved. I think she wasn't all in her right mind either, because she's still in contact and dealings with this individual. He's strong arming her to make her drop the case, or fake sign an affidavit saying that whole case was felonious on the prior incident. when you got this incident. I mean, come on, man, what are you doing? A judge is gonna laugh at you. That's why the lawyer said, man, I ain't messing with this fool. Get out my face. You're an L, man. You're an automatic L. I don't know what kind of freakish foolishness you went to. I ain't dealing with your clown self, man. Get up out my face. And now, so that's one thing. I'm trying to think of situations. All right, let's say so they're in a place, a household. She got so many items she can use to defend herself. She can get a chair. She can get a pot. Man, if you're in the woods, you can get a log from the damn log cabin and a fireplace. And this dude has to sleep. Unless you're tied up when you're sleeping. When he's asleep, I'm not saying that you should do this, because if you hit somebody in the right way, it could be murder. But I'm just saying, if you're held there against your will and you're telling your family you're in fear of your life, you got to do what you got to do to get yourself away from that fear, get yourself away from that environment. So I'm thinking, yeah, if he's sleeping, you're mobile, you can move around the house freely. So you say, maybe your legs are tied up but your arms ain't, man, untie yourself. Stop punching him in the head, grab something, hit him in the head when he wake up, try to blend, like they teach you in the keto, blend with him. As they teach you in boxing, you stop slipping punches, just a slight head movement. I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. You see Sensei Buddha come in his videos, and it's great videos. He talks about just rubbing, like you washing. My man got such smooth head movement, and that head movement is so vital for people to just start slipping punches. They just you're just not throwing punches at a standing target. Your head is moving. So just pretend you're taking a shower, like Sensei Buddha would say, man, you just taking a shower, moving your head left, right, up, down. This guy trying to throw punches, he's gonna be like, damn, you're gonna think twice, like, okay, man, she might come back and get me. That's sometimes all you need is those seconds, those minutes, those fractions of seconds to gain that window of opportunity to release yourself from here. So she had that. She could have hit him when he was asleep. She could have tried to blend with him when he was throwing punches to try to go into his body, try to wrap him up so she could maybe get a little more space to run. Or she could slip some punches, try to throw some punches of herself. Even if she don't have the amount of force, some adrenaline in your body, fight or flight is going to kick in. She could at least, man, you see it in UCF every day, the right punch at the right spot. You can knock anybody out. It doesn't matter the size. There's a weight class for a reason, but in a situation like that, anybody can knock anybody out. It's just physics, man. It's just what it is from the body. You get hit in that sweet spot, you're going down. You might not be knocked out, but you might have that like 2 seconds where your brain shorts. You got, hey, I need to get back up. That's all that time you need to get the hell out of there. But that person is dazed. What else she could have done? She could have played possum. Okay, so this dude is going to do all this craziness to you. Lay possum. Pretend women are so cerebral. Women are so smart when it comes to mental games. Play with it for a little bit till you get to a point where shit, maybe you're tying him up. Now guess what? Now he's fucked. Now you can really leave the house and this motherfucker tied up. You know what I mean? There's so many things I'm thinking that she could have done instead of just call. I don't remember exactly. She called to text her family. Which one was it?
I think it was the text.
Okay,
yeah, she texted her family. Yeah.
She texted her family. You could text 911 too. You know that? I'm just scared.
Yeah, her family did.
Man. Okay, but you can. You had time to text. Hey, I'm in fear. I'm in fear of my life. That is 7 words. You could text 911. Help me. That's 2 words. Come on. You could have. I'm upset, but then I'm also saying, man, this is a good opportunity. Like I said, I do a lot of different self-defensive tactics, different scenarios that she might have been able to use. Of course, this is hindsight. I'm seeing this after the actual situation that happens. So it's, man, it's just, like I said, some things here ain't adding up to me. But people, if you're ever in a situation like that, listen to what I said. Try to stay as calm as you can. When you practice in martial arts, especially Aikido, teach you how to stay as calm as possible and just go with the flow of things. That way your body's not tense and just moving, letting that chi, that your body moving with nature, you're just moving with the movement. So if somebody is in a state of aggression, you're calm, you're always going to have an advantage to them. But once that aggression in them wears off, you still have that level of calmness, and you can still use that. So now you're still thinking logically. You're thinking of your 2-3 steps ahead. You're thinking, if I slip the punch, I can hit him with a punch. Shit, grab him, try to rock bottom, sweep his legs with a judo sweep, and put his head to the floor. There's so many different things that is possible. You could have swapped him, put that arm up right to his head, get that nice little sleeper hold on him and put him to sleep and get the hell out of here. There's so many different situations, scenarios that this person, and you don't even need to be trained. I know Sensei Buddha says a lot, and in the near future we're going to be setting up some seminars. I don't want to put it out there, but I'm putting it out there. But these small things that we always say, children should be taken, women should be taken, people feel they're going to be taken advantage of. This small, basic self-defense things that can help you, and it's things that we've learned along our ways in life that we can just give to our audience and people who want to know more. That's what we're trying to do. So, and sum up this thing from what I'm saying, man. 50 Shades of Stone, he got it on and popping. He done got his victim. Like I said, that's so much I'm not liking about it, but I'm. I know a beat physicist was talking about the bond. Depending on what state, I know California is like 10% of the bond, so he would have had to put 10 stacks to get out. I think Florida's like 5 or 4%, so we had to put like 4,000 or 5,000 to get out. Depending on what state you're in, that's how the bond is set. He was in Salt Lake City, Utah, so I'm not sure what the bond over there is. So, even though you see that big 100,000 K mark, bond is not really that amount, so it wasn't. Probably it's not that hard for him to get out. He was an older dude, so he might have had some money stashed up to get himself out, or his family, his mom probably put a house up just to get him out. There's so many different scenarios, but it's not hard to get people out of bond. So Sensei Buddha, all you, brother.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suave, beat physicist, and let's definitely pick up from what you just said, Mr. Suave. In these cases, notice that they don't give the detail of the aggressor's line of employment. Where does this guy work? How is he able to put up such bails? And to me, he shouldn't be able to put up any bail since he had a pending case from early that part of, from April? I think Judge Petit, she denied his claim of trying to say that this woman had stalked him. He was trying to, this is where the witness tampering comes in, because allegedly he tried to force the 45-year-old victim into recanting or rescinding her statement. So this is so funny that we call ourselves the hindsight. The victim has hindsight. She was in a relationship with this person, the first phase of it, from February to April, and then gets back with him again. So everything that you had said, Mr. Suave, is totally plausible. In other words, hey, I know the abuse. I got smacked up by this guy. I have to take measures to defend myself. But then there's certain things that we have to overlook. Does this American culture, does it just naturally breed the violence? Because for her to go back to him and the family, her family knows what's being done and what's involved here. How can they be cool with letting her? And again, why would the family just hang back? I'm very glad that she was able to text to the family to go ahead and call 911, which they did before they made it to the assailant's campsite, his home over there. But then, why did they not make sure that this woman wasn't dealing with this guy from after May or whenever the first time the assault happened? And to me, he shouldn't be able to make any bond because he still has an open case. To me, he should have been instantly put in jail because he's like, hey, guy, you got this case pending and you're going to assault the same woman again? In my humble opinion, it's just common sense. You need to put this guy in jail and let him wait out so when his case can get called. In my humble opinion. The next thing is that I'm very glad that she was able to finally get free from after being tied up like a mummy, and she was finally able to call the cops. They noticed that she had bruises on her face and possible fractures. And when they went and arrested Mr. Stone at the place where she had just previously escaped from, there was evidence that she was obviously held captive from everything that she explained in the case. So, this is just a very sad thing. We're going to have to start exploring, why does she feel the need to keep going back to this person? Does she like getting hit? Was he doing something for her? Was her financial situation? What is it that these people keep going back to the abuse? And the same can be said for a man who's in an abusive situation with a woman. Always. Either the love is that good or something in their life isn't that good, that they feel that these people, that they have to be an anchor to them or anchored to them. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's crazy. But again, people, if you have any questions and any inquiries, give us a shout. If you have any suggestions, give us a shout. And of course, as Mr. Suave would say, you can give us that troll love. If I can get that troll cackle, please.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We know that you trolls are out there and you want to go ahead and get into the action. But, gentlemen, thank you both very much. And I'll just slide off unless there's something else we're going to think about.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like a really good synopsis of the story. Again, you can email us at thehindsight@gmail.com. That's THEHYNDESITE@gmail.com. We've got a YouTube channel, Hindsight. We've got a Twitter at @thehindsight. We've got our Instagram, IG for the younger generation. Yep, or the gram. We got that popping. So at @the_hind_site. Man, what else we got? No, Facebook is coming soon, I guess. And
Stitcher, we got Stitcher. We got iTunes Radio.
Right. TuneIn Radio.
I mean TuneIn Radio.
Yeah.
My bad.
iTunes. Stitcher. Spreaker. I think for now. I think though there's only a few episodes there.
We retired from SoundCloud, right?
Yeah, retired from SoundCloud. There's still some early episodes on there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, retired from SoundCloud, retired from Mixcloud. So
and there's we're also going up on my boy told me about another spot where he signed up for this, and this is where he puts. He told me to actually put out a podcast on it because it basically syncs all your podcasts to this one joint. I think it's called M-Play or F-Play Zone. I'll get the exact term from him so I could give y'all the right information so we can get our fans, listeners know, and we know we're put on the right spot.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so whatever it is, we're going to try to get there.
Excellent.
So, again, thank you for joining us on this edition of Hindsight, and we'll see you all later.
Peace.